You are living a lie, a comfortable, convenient, and cowardly lie. You have been taught to apologize for your desires, to shrink from your strengths, and to seek the approval of the very herd you are meant to lead. You have traded your potential for a pat on the head, your sovereignty for a sense of belonging. You whisper your true thoughts in the dark, afraid that the daylight will expose the monster of ambition that stirs within you. But that monster is not your curse. It is your destiny sleeping. Nietzsche did not come to comfort you. He came to shatter you, to warn you that the most terrifying path is not failure, but the betrayal of your own soul. The danger is not in striving and falling. The danger is in never striving at all, and becoming a ghost who politely haunted the edges of your own life. You have spent years building a coffin and calling it a home. It is time to break out. You were not born into freedom. You were born into a cage you did not see. The bars are not of iron, but of ideas. They are handed to you with a smile, with a lullaby, with a scripture. This is your inheritance, not of land, not of gold, but of lies. From the first breath, they pour the poison into you. They teach you that humility is the highest virtue. But their humility is not modesty, it is self-abasement. It is the act of looking at the ground so you never see the horizon. It is the bowing of the head so you never feel the weight of a crown. They teach you to love your neighbor as yourself. A beautiful sentiment. A weapon. For enforcing you to love the faceless crowd, they teach you to hate the unique individual staring back from your own mirror. They teach you to sacrifice the singular, the rare, the powerful you on the altar of the common. You are taught to obey, to sit still, to wait your turn, to ask for permission, to seek forgiveness for simply taking up space. The system does not want individuals. It wants echoes. It wants reflections. It wants a herd. And you were the wild animal they had to break. They broke you with praise when you were quiet. They broke you with shame when you were loud. They broke you with the fear of being left behind, of being ostracized, of being called strange. You learned to fear power, your own power. You were told it was arrogance. You were told it was sin. You were told the powerful are cruel. So you made yourself small. You made yourself harmless. You clipped your own wings and called it morality. This is the poisoned well from which you have drunk your entire life. Every value you hold, every should that whispers in your ear, every pang of guilt for wanting more, it is not your voice. It is their echo. It is the ghost of a priest, the sigh of a teacher, the disappointed glance of a parent living inside your mind. You call it your conscience. Nietzsche called it the slave morality, a value system invented by the weak to chain the strong. A brilliant, insidious inversion, where weakness became goodness, where strength became evil, where the inability to take revenge was called forgiveness, where the fear of standing out was called modesty. You have built your life on this foundation of rot. You have constructed your identity, your ambitions, your very sense of right and wrong on a bedrock of lies designed to make you manageable, to make you safe, to make you a servant. And you wonder why you feel a constant, low-grade sickness in your soul. You wonder why your achievements taste like ash. You wonder why you feel so deeply, fundamentally inauthentic. That is the poison, working its way through your spirit. The first step to power is not building. It is not creating. It is detoxification. It is to stop drinking, to look at the well, to see its source, and to finally, with a steady hand, push the cup away. There comes a day, a moment, unannounced. You are in the middle of your life, the life you built, the life you were supposed to want. You are at your desk, you are in a conversation, you are surrounded by all the things you were told would bring peace. And it happens. A crack, a fissure in the facade of your world. It is not a loud, dramatic explosion. It is a quiet, internal rupture. A single, clear, undeniable thought. This is all wrong. It begins as a taste, a metallic taste of disgust on the tongue of your spirit. The conversation you are having tastes like ash. The approval you just received feels like a brand. The comfort of your routine feels like a slow, warm poison. This is the first tremor, the awakening of disgust. It is not depression. Do not confuse this sacred sickness with mundane sadness. Depression is a cloud that obscures everything. This disgust is a lightning strike. It illuminates everything with a terrifying, brilliant clarity. You see the cheap materials your life is made of. You see the painted plaster where there should be stone. The laughter of the crowd suddenly sounds hollow, like rattling bones. Their ambitions seem small, frantic, like mice scrambling for scraps. The goals you were chasing reveal themselves as plastic trophies, empty and gleaming under false light. You look at your own reflection and see a stranger wearing the mask of you. You see the obedient smile, the placid eyes, the posture of submission, and for the first time you feel not pride, but a hot flush of shame. Not shame for failing them, but shame for having betrayed yourself. This disgust is the first sign of health in a soul that has been sick for a lifetime. It is the immune system of your spirit finally identifying the poison. It is your deepest self, the self you buried under a mountain of shoulds and musts, stirring in its grave. Do not run from this feeling. Do not medicate it. Do not talk it away with a therapist who will call it maladaptive thinking. This disgust is your compass. It is the most honest part of you. It is the beginning of your rebellion. It is the moment the slave looks at his chains and for the first time does not see protection. He sees a chain. He feels its weight, and he knows with a certainty that shakes the earth that he would rather die than wear it for another season. This is the nausea of freedom, the vertigo of looking over the edge of the cage and realizing the door has been open all along. You have been your own jailer, and the disgust you feel is for the one who held the key and refused to turn it. Embrace the tremor. Let it shatter your windows. Let it shake the dust from your soul. This is not the end of your world. It is the only true beginning. You have pushed the cup away. The poison is clearing from your veins. The disgust has scoured you clean. And now you stand in the emptiness. The old gods are dead. The old values have crumbled to dust in your hands. The prayers you whispered have no ceiling to reach. The rules you followed were written in water. You have dismantled the prison, stone by stone, and you are left with nothing but the open sky, a terrifying, infinite freedom. This is the abyss, the great nothingness. This is the price of your awakening, to see that behind the curtain of meaning there is no wizard. There is only the silent, indifferent machinery of existence. Your life has no script. Your suffering has no higher purpose. Your triumphs are fleeting sparks in an eternal night. There is no justice, no grand plan, no cosmic scorekeeper. There is only the void, and it is staring back at you. This is the desert of the real, The wind howls through the hollow places where your beliefs once lived. Every step you take echoes into a meaningless infinity. This is nihilism, the uninvited guest, the necessary horror. You will be tempted to run, to scurry back to the ruins of the prison and rebuild it, calling it faith. To find a new idol, a new ideology, a new herd to lose yourself in. Anything to fill the silence, anything to escape the gaze of the infinite. Do not run. This emptiness is not your enemy. It is the only honest foundation you have ever stood upon. Every other foundation was a lie built over a bottomless pit. This is solid ground, the ground of truth. The abyss is not here to destroy you. It is here to anoint you, to burn away the last of your illusions, to force you to a single, terrifying question. If nothing matters, then what will you do? This is the moment of ultimate choice, the pivot point of your entire existence. You can let the nothingness consume you. You can lie down in the desert and let the sands bury you. This is the passive nihilism of the weak, the final surrender. Or, you can understand the secret. The void is not an end. It is a beginning. It is a blank canvas, a silent workshop, a cleared field. The absence of inherited meaning is the precondition for creating your own. The abyss does not tell you that nothing matters. It tells you that nothing matters until you decide that it does. You are not a subject of meaning. You are its source, its author, its God. You must stare into the void until your eyes adjust, until you see not emptiness, but potential. Until you realize the stars are not distant cold fires, but navigational points for a journey you alone will chart. The abyss gazes. Let it gaze back. And in that silent exchange, feel the weight of your own sovereignty begin to grow. You are alone. You are free. Now, what will you build in your magnificent, empty kingdom? The void has spoken its truth. You have accepted the emptiness. Now you pick up the tool. The only tool for this work. Not a chisel to create, not a brush to paint. A hammer. Your will, forged in the fires of nothingness, tempered in the cold of the abyss. It is time to shatter the idols. They stand all around you, these statues of the herd, gilded and towering. They demand your kneel, your prayer, your sacrifice. You have passed them by for years, bowing your head out of habit. Now you must see them for what they are, plaster and straw. The first idol is pity. They have carved it into a god. They call it compassion. But this is not the hand that helps a friend to rise. This is the sickness that worships weakness, that celebrates frailty, that demands you break your own strength to feel the pain of others. It is a vampire, draining the vitality of the world. It whispers that all suffering is evil, that no one should ever feel pain. It creates a world of victims, forever clutching their wounds, demanding compensation. You must swing the hammer, shatter the idol of pity. You will learn the difference between compassion, which is a strength, and pity, which is a poison. The second idol is equality, a beautiful, monstrous lie. They have taken a political concept and made it a metaphysical chain. They preach that all are the same, that no one is better, that the heights and the depths must be leveled to a flat, gray plain. This is the revenge of the mediocre against the excellent. It is the hatred of distance, of rank, of the mountain peak. It is the demand that the eagle apologize for its wings and walk with the turkeys. Swing the hammer. Shatter the idol of equality. You will learn the difference between compassion, which is a strength, and equality, which is a poison. The third idol is humility, the slave's virtue, the doctrine that teaches you to be small, to make yourself invisible, to mumble, "It was nothing," when you have achieved something great. This is not modesty, it is a ritual of self-negation, a spell to keep you from realizing your own power. It is the fear of outshining the herd, the terror of being seen as too much. Swing the hammer. Shatter the idol of humility. You will replace it with pride, the rightful, calm, and unshakable acknowledgement of your own worth. You walk through this gallery of false gods, hammer in hand. With each swing, the plaster cracks. With each crash, a lie dies. You are not destroying morality. You are ending a slave morality. You are not creating chaos. You are clearing the ground for a new nobility. The sound is deafening. The herd will cover its ears and scream. Let them. They are screaming for their ghosts. You are building a temple to reality. And the first act of creation is always destruction. The dust settles. The silence returns. You stand amidst the rubble of 2,000 years. The air is clear. You can breathe. Now, only now, are you ready to build. The idols lie in ruins. The temple of the herd is dust. You stand victorious in a silent, external world. But the true war has just begun. You turn inward, and you see it, the labyrinth. It is not built of stone, but of memory, of instinct, of forgotten fears. It is the architecture of your own conditioning, a maze within your mind, constructed by the very hands you just defeated. The external masters are gone, but you have internalized their whips. Their voices now speak with your own accent. Their commands are etched into the pathways of your brain. This is the final, most treacherous battlefield, the war within. Your enemy is not a tyrant, it is a ghost. The ghost of who you were, the obedient child, the people-pleaser, the seeker of permission. It is a phantom limb of a soul you amputated, but which still aches. You enter the labyrinth. The first minotaur you meet is the need for approval. It does not roar, it whispers. What will they think? It flinches before a disapproving glance. It craves the sugar praise of strangers. It is the desperate hand, always reaching, always begging for a validation that will never fill it. You must corner this beast, look into its pleading eyes, and sever its head. You must become so whole that the opinions of others become like weather, noticed perhaps, but never a command. Deeper in, you find the gorgon of resentment. It hisses with the memory of every slight, every injustice, every wound. It wants to turn your gaze to stone, forever fixed on the past. It wants you to build a monument to your grievances and live in its shadow. You cannot fight it by looking away. You must stare it down. You must see that your resentment is a poison you drink, hoping your enemy will die. You must transmute it. Let it become fuel. Let it harden your resolve. Let it die in the fire of your forward motion. In the deepest chamber, in the heart of the darkness, you finally meet the king of this maze, the ultimate shadow. It is the part of you that still believes the lies, that still wants to be small, to be safe, to be loved by the herd. It is the coward, the slave, the one who would trade your sovereignty for a warm blanket and a kind word. This is the final confrontation, not with a roar, but in a terrible, intimate silence. You look at this shadow, this mirror of your former self, and you must do the most violent, most necessary act of your life. You must kill him, not with hatred, but with a cold, final love. A love for what you are becoming. You strangle the weak voice. You starve the needy child. You incinerate the last vestiges of the herd instinct within your own skull. The labyrinth begins to collapse. The walls of fear crumble. The corridors of doubt fall away. The war is over. The silence is absolute. You stand alone in the center of your own mind. It is no longer a maze. It is a throne room. You have conquered the final frontier, yourself. The sovereign has returned home. The throne room of your mind is silent. The war is over. You are no longer a rebel. A rebel is defined by what he fights against. You have moved beyond reaction. You are now a sovereign, a self-ruler. And a ruler must have a law. But this law will not be carved on stone tablets. It will not be handed down from a cloud. It will be written in the fire of your will and cooled in the waters of your experience. You are about to become the architect of your own morality, the poet of your own values. This is the great task, the ultimate responsibility. You look at the raw materials of existence: pain, joy, struggle, loss, triumph. These are neither good nor evil. They are simply elements, like clay, like iron, like wind. You must take them and decide their meaning. You must assign them their value. What will you decree? You decide that pain is not a punishment. It is a teacher, a whetstone that sharpens the blade of your spirit. You welcome its lessons. You command it to shape you. You decide that solitude is not a curse. It is the necessary climate for greatness, the clean, cold air of the mountain peak where your thoughts can crystallize without the fog of the crowd. You decide that your past failures are not stains upon your record. They are the foundational stones of your wisdom. You would not erase a single one. You order them to be polished and displayed as trophies of survival. This is the forging of your own law. It is an act of supreme creation. It is how you paint your will upon the canvas of a meaningless universe. You are not searching for happiness. That is the goal of the herd, the desire for a warm, comfortable stall. You are seeking something higher, something fiercer. You are seeking power, not power over others. That is the mimicry of the weak. You are seeking power over yourself, absolute self-mastery, the power to say yes with your whole soul, the power to say no with your entire being. Your law is not for anyone else. It is not a manifesto. It is not a doctrine to be preached. It is an internal constitution. It is the internal compass that guides you and you alone. It answers to no external judge. It justifies itself by its very existence. The herd will call this arrogance. They will scream that you have become a monster. They are correct. You have become a monster of self-determination, a beautiful, terrifying creature that they cannot comprehend. You have moved beyond their good and their evil. You live in your own spectrum. You are the law, the judge, the kingdom, all contained within the fortress of your soul. You look at the world now not with desire or fear, but with the eye of a creator. Everything is potential. Every moment is a choice. Every breath is an affirmation of the world you are building from the inside out. You have given yourself the greatest gift, the only gift that matters. You have given yourself your own name. Power is not control. Control is the illusion of the weak, the desperate grip on a world that slips like sand through their fingers. True power is the ecstatic embrace of what is. You have built your sovereign self. You have forged your own law. Now comes the ultimate test, the final initiation. It is not a test of strength, but of love. Amor fati, the love of fate. Not acceptance, not stoic endurance, not a resigned sigh. Love, a passionate, ecstatic, divine yes to all of it. Every scar, every wound, every humiliation, every loss, every moment of searing pain that brought you to your knees, every betrayal that carved a hollow in your chest, every failure that felt like a death. You must turn to face the entirety of your life, the entire chaotic, brutal, beautiful tapestry, and you must will it. You must desire its eternal return. This is the great thought experiment, the spiritual hammer blow. What if a demon crept into your loneliest loneliness and said to you, "This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more, and there will be nothing new in it, but every pain and every joy and every thought and sigh and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence." Would you throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon? Or would you answer him as a god? You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine. This is the question, the only question. To love your fate is to understand that you are not a victim of your past. You are its author, not because you controlled it, but because you now choose its meaning. You take the raw, bloody material of your existence and you declare it necessary. You see the chain of cause and effect, the pain that forged your resilience, the loss that taught you depth, the betrayal that gifted you clarity, not as a series of accidents, but as the perfect, brutal curriculum for the creation of you. The weak man curses the storm that broke his branches. The strong man loves the storm for the strength it forced into his roots. You must look at the face of everything that has ever hurt you and kiss it. You must thank your enemies. You must build an altar to your suffering. For these were not obstacles on your path. They were the path. They are the fire that burned away everything you were not. This is the final shedding of resentment, the last poison to be purged from your system. When you can will the eternal recurrence of your life in every glorious, agonizing detail, you are free. You are no longer in conflict with reality. You are its dancer, its co-creator. Your will now moves in perfect harmony with the music of existence. You do not seek a different fate. You do not seek an easier life. You crave only this one, exactly as it was, exactly as it is. This is the ultimate affirmation, the final yes that echoes in the silent halls of the universe. You have become the one who says yes to life. You have loved your fate. You have willed the eternal recurrence of your life. Now you turn to face the world, but the world you see is not the world you left. You have ascended. The air is thin, the silence is absolute. You stand on the lone peak. Below you, the clouds obscure the world of the herd. Their noises are a distant murmur, their dramas a faint flicker. You are here, alone. This is not a place of loneliness. It is a place of completion. You have moved beyond their concepts, their good, their evil. These were childish things, tools for the management of fear. You have outgrown them. You are not good. You are not evil. You are beyond. You are a law unto yourself, a world unto yourself. Your morality is no longer a code. It is an instinct. It flows from your abundance, from your strength. Your yes is full-throated. Your no is final. There is no internal debate, no hesitation. Your will and your action are one. You look down with a new vision. You do not see sinners and saints. You see sleepwalkers. You see children clutching their dolls of meaning, playing in a sandbox they believe is the entire world. You feel no hatred for them, no resentment, only a vast, untouchable pity and a profound gratitude that you are awake. You do not rule them. You are indifferent to them. Their praise cannot reach you. Their scorn cannot touch you. You have transcended the need for an audience. Your greatest triumphs are silent. Your deepest joys are private. Your power is in your stillness. Your relationships are no longer needs. They are choices. You engage with others not to complete yourself, but from the overflow of your own completeness. You love not from desperation, but from sovereignty. Your connections are fierce, clear, and free of the clinging vines of dependency. This is the state of the higher man, the Übermensch. Not a superman, a surpassed man. The man who has overcome his own humanity, the all-too-human. You walk among men, but you are not one of them. You wear your solitude like a cloak of fine invisible thread. You speak, and your words carry the weight of the mountain. You are calm, because you have conquered everything that can be conquered, yourself. The journey is over, the seeking has ended. You are not becoming, you are. You have faced the abyss, fought the war, forged the law, and loved your fate. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to conquer. You have become what you are. The final danger was not in the struggle, but in the arrival. The danger of achieving this profound solitude. The danger of a peace so deep it is indistinguishable from power. Now stand here, breathe this air. Let the silence become your only language. Walk alone, rule in silence, love your fate.